Chapter 25 Casa del Fuego, Santa Barbara. Sir, we lost the fine coin. And sir, we've also lost Jay and the key coin, says Sanchez. I'm getting fed up with your mistakes, Sanchez. The key coin was an invaluable asset, and Jay was an expert resource, screams Mr. Austin. I know, sir. There's an unknown player of Kai, and he has a powerful coin. Okay, I'm mobilizing all resources for this. I will be flying to Las Vegas as well. When you have a positive location for these players, let me know. Immediately, says Mr. Austin. Yes, sir. Understood. Mr. Austin hangs up and starts to type into his laptop. Activate all player assets. Have them coordinate with number 1. Number 3 has been deactivated. Retrieve all funds from number 3's account. Scrub number 3's records. Also, place number 2 on the pending deactivation list. After a few moments, he sees a response on the screen. Affirmative. Chapter 26 Early Morning Shopping Center, North Vegas. Brian, Will, and Kai start to walk away from the ruined purple bug. Will takes one last glance back at the car and he blows it a kiss. He grabs his coin in his hand and he puts his other hand on his head. He spins in a circle like a ballerina. Then when he stops spinning, he opens his eyes and starts walking. Brian and Kai look at each other and roll their eyes, and they start to follow. The trio cross the street and walk past the vet office and a 24-hour street taco restaurant. Right past the taco restaurant, they see a yellow inflatable tube man flapping next to a buy here, pay here sign. They'd luckily stumbled onto a car lot. However, most of the cars don't look better off than the car they just walked away from. Hehe, giggles Will. I'm good. Brian says, let me try something. He closes his hand around his coin. He thinks about finding a reliable car. He walks towards a blue sedan with 2 different colored front fenders. It has a faded yellow fender on the driver's side, and it has a light green fender on the passenger side. I know it looks dumb, but this car will do. The trio walk to the office, but they see it's closed for another few hours. So they decide to have breakfast at the 24-hour taco stand. The disheveled trio walk into the taco stand. The disinterested employees don't flinch at the dirty, bloodied, and torn outfits. It's Las Vegas after all. Brian and Kai order some tacos, and Will orders the largest burrito known to man. That's possibly 3 times the size of your stomach, says Kai. Only one way to find out, says Will. After spending a few hours in the taco shop, watching Will gorge himself on a whale-sized burrito, they see the car lot opening. So they walk over to find a dealer so they can make a deal. Since the 3-tone car wasn't in much demand, and the interior smells like cinnamon and cloves, the lone dealer on the lot was willing to sell the car to Brian for a few $1,000s. After paying and driving off the lot, Brian comes to Will and Kai. All the money I found yesterday, and it's almost all gone. That's how the coins work sometimes. You get something, but you lose something. It's a penalty or something, like messing with Mother Nature. She'll fight back. Yeah, my luck was great until I met you two. Before Brian heads into the Nevada desert, he stops by the recently abandoned bug. He grabs Kai's backpack from the passenger floorboard and their medical kits and food kit from the trunk. He hands the keys to the battered Volkswagen to Will. Will looks at his destroyed car. Then he throws the keys onto the roof of the nail salon. Chapter 27 Nevada Desert, north of Las Vegas. The sedan's air conditioner worked wonderfully, and the engine purred like a kitten. Brian was happy with the purchase. He had further proof the coin could find something very specific if asked appropriately. He wondered about the limits and conditions he could place on the coin. He wondered if he wanted to find one thing, but his heart desired something else more. What direction would the coin take? He wondered what would happen if he tried to find something non-existent. He wondered about the limitations on the other coins. Will said he had terrible luck when he didn't use his luck coin all the time. So what happens to that sword guy? Or that invisible shield guy? What do they lose? If I have a heal coin, am I immortal? Kai said she saw a guy that could fly. What happens to him after a while? If I want to survive, I need to find ways to combat these other players. The drive out of Las Vegas was pretty uneventful. First, multiple lanes changed to 4 lanes, then it changed to 2 lanes. The landscape flattened to a harsh desert, and mountain ranges could be seen in the distance on either side of the highway. At times, it was several minutes before Brian saw another car heading south to the city of Sin, his hometown. During the drive, Will and Brian talked about their favorite video games. Kai was fast asleep in the passenger seat. Occasionally, a small town would appear, and Brian would have to slow down from 75 or 80 miles per hour to 35. They want to go back. After a fefew hours, a large moan came from the back seat. "Oh man, I think we need a place to stop," says Will. "I'll look for something. If you need to, I can pull over to the side of the road." "And what? Give some trucker a free show? I ain't showing my ass for free. This is grade A premium beef. You don't give out samples of this." I see a sign. It says, "River Rock Mine. Last services for 50 miles. We'll find a place to stop there." After a few minutes, Brian is forced to slow down to 35 miles per hour. The town starts to quickly pass by. He sees a small grocery store and a pharmacy on one side of the road. On the other side of the road, he sees a sign that reads, "World Famous Clown Motel and Cemetery." "You know what? I'm beat. Let's get a room at this motel." The motel is an old 1950s style motel. Drivers pull up to the front door of the motel room door, and from their rooms, they get an amazingly boring view of the two-lane highway. This motel's unique selling points are the hundreds of clowns affixed and placed everywhere. There's a waving clown next to the office, a clown on the roof, clown cutouts on the doors, a clown holding different colored balloons on the room curtain, porcelain clowns haphazardly placed around the parking lot. There's even a clown gift shop in the check-in office. When the car pulls to a stop in front of the office and gift shop, Kai cracks her eyes open, and she sees the clown motel. "Did I die? No, seriously, did I die?" says Kai. "There's no way I'm staying here. It's the only place in town. It's the only place for 50 miles. Besides, I'm about to fall asleep, and we all really, I mean really, need a shower." "Let's go. You're paying," says Brian. "Goddamn burrito," says Will. "If I didn't have to go so bad. I told you my luck is so fickle." Brian and Will hop out of the car and walk to the main office. Kai remains in the car with an open-mouthed stare. When Brian and Will return with 3 sets of keys, she has counted over 100 clowns. The keys were to rooms 10, 11, and 12 at the end of the motel. Brian pulls a car to the end of the motel parking lot, and he sees a multicolored clown car in the last parking space. In the driver's seat, he sees a mannequin dressed as a clown, with a fading red wig and a faded striped outfit. As a joke, he backs the car into the parking space next to the clown car. Now the parking lot has 2 multicolored clown cars. Will gets out of the car, and he hands Kai the key to room 12. He quickly shuffles off to room 10, with one hand pressed to his rear. Brian hears Will exclaiming, "Code Brown! Whoop, whoop, Code Brown!" Kai finally gets out of the car and starts to walk towards her room. She stops dead in her tracks as she's about to open her door. "Give me your key. We're swapping rooms," says Kai. "Sure. Why?" Kai points to the lot next to the hotel, and Brian sees an old cemetery. It's about a quarter-mile long, and it seems to curve behind the hotel, probably for miles. Some of the gravestones look hundreds of years old. The cemetery isn't very well maintained. It is filled with sagebrush, tumbleweeds, and rusted beer cans. "I am not sleeping next to that," says Kai. "Gotcha," says Brian, as goosebumps run over his arm. Kai retreats into room 11, and Brian enters room 12. Since his room is at the end of the building, he gets an extra window, looking out into the adjacent lot. So if he wanted, he could leave the window open to get some moonlight and a view of the cemetery. Brian chooses to leave the window and curtains closed. As he walks by the bed towards a small bathroom, he sees a clown-shaped phone looking at him from the nightstand. F me, this place is creepy. After a quick shower, Brian lays down and he quickly falls asleep. He expects to dream of clowns, but instead he dreams of magicians playing with coins. He sees the magicians making the coins disappear and reappear. He sees them being swallowed. He sees coins being shot out of their nostrils. He sees coins being found behind little boys' ears. He sees them being found in old men's shirt pockets. He then dreams of one magician collecting all the coins and walking off the stage. All the little girls and boys start to weep because the show is over. One little boy looks like a young Brian. Chapter 28. LVPD Station, Las Vegas. A brand new white luxury SUV pulls into the Las Vegas Police Department headquarters parking lot. A man in an immaculate custom-tailored suit steps out of the vehicle. He places his hand to his left pocket. He wraps his hand around one of the coins found there. Then he starts to watch the police officers entering and exiting the police station. After a few minutes, he finds his target. He sees a young police officer without any stripes on his sleeve holding the door open for a few plainclothes detectives. Mr. Austin drops the coin from his hand into his pocket. He replaces it with another coin. As the officer releases the door, Mr. Austin approaches. "Hello, officer. Can you help me? I made an appointment with Captain Jones, and I need assistance finding him." Sorry. I need to start my patrol. You can get directions from the front desk," says the young officer. Mr. Oster sees a name tag that reads Hansen. Then he squeezes his coin in his left hand.
Officer Hansen, I really need to see Captain Jones immediately. I'm sure he won't mind if you take me to him.
Officer Hansen pauses a second. Then he rubs his temple with his left hand. Yes, sir. I can take you to him. Follow me. Then Officer Hansen turns around and enters the police department building.
So kind of you, Officer Hansen. You can call me Mr. Austin.
I'm the CEO of Fuego Security Consultants.
I have some services and products that Captain Jones might be interested in. Can you tell me anything I need to be aware of with Captain Jones? I don't want to impose on him too much, and I'd like to avoid any pitfalls,
says Mr. Austin while still holding his coin. Sure, he's been grumbling about the union being up his ass about overtime pay. He also says the mayor and the city council don't want to increase our budget. They keep cutting our training. Lately, he seems to do more bureaucratic ass-kissing than police work. He's getting sick of it.
And you, Officer Hansen, what are you looking for? I see you don't have any stripes. You seem like an ambitious young man.
I try my best, but, office politics.
Oh, and you've been getting enough training and pay increases.
We can never get enough training. The only way I get more pay is to work more overtime. After a few minutes of walking, Mr. Austin is led to a corner office deep inside the police department building. Here it is, says Officer Hansen. Mr. Austin shakes Officer Hansen's hand. At the same time, he slips a business card into his palm.
Officer Hansen, if you're interested, I could find a role for you in our organization. We're expanding. We give above average compensation, and we have a competitive bonus program. Just contact the number on this card, and we can start the process.
Officer Hansen rubs his temple.
Roger, I think I'll do that. Thanks.
And without knocking, Mr. Austin enters Captain Jones' office.
Who the hell are you?
Says Captain Jones. Mr. Austin squeezes the coin in his hand and says,
I'm Mr. Austin. I have a proposition for you.